the time, training, or the inclination for strategic thought.
Let's play cricket.
Knowledge.
Deckies.
Hello, Sean Barry.
Hello, scary man.
How dare you?
I don't like you without your hat on.
Well, listen, I was just told I look good by Francesca's roommates, and they're women, so their opinion matters more.
Wow, how sexist of you.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not having sex with you. My opinion matters more.
You're not having sex with me? Well, I'm not having sex with her roommates.
Yeah, but like through the transitive property you are.
What do you mean transitive? What do you mean?
You have sex with Francesca, she has sex with her roommates. Transitive property.
She doesn't have sex with her roommates.
That's what it means to have roommates, the people you have sex with, right?
Oh, room meaning vagina.
Yeah.
Vagina mates. Okay, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, fine. I will never appear without a hat ever again.
Thank you. Where are you at? This isn't your apartment.
No, it's Francesca's room.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen her in 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
Why I'm buttoning my shirt.
That's why I can smell the cum eroding from you from here.
Eroding?
Eroding.
Emitting? I mean,
Emitting. Yeah, no, it's eroding.
no, it's not eroding. Eroding is when like something wears away another substance.
That's what I'm saying. It's eroding from your testicles.
No, nothing erodes from something. It erodes
I
something.
was trying to, I don't know. I was,
Evaporating.
yeah, that's probably what I was going for. Yeah. Whatever. Everybody, welcome to Knowledge Daddies. We're just two daddies. Oscar died.
We're talking to an actual daddy.
A real daddy today. Yeah. You got some questions prepared?
Well, I didn't prepare my own, but I did outsource the work to a bunch of people who follow me on Instagram, a bunch of friends and acquaintances, digital and IRL.
Yeah. Followers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool people. And yeah, we got a lot. So I don't know, maybe we should start talking with Brett. And then, you know,
We'll go into fan questions.
yeah, we'll move on. We have a lot, but
Yeah.
you know, we don't have to get to all of them, but we'll try
You
to
don't
get
into the dirty deeds. Do you ever get randomly added by people on Snapchat and it turns out they're just prostitutes?
no.
Well, it does for me.
You ever sleep with them, purchase
No.
their wares?
Well, I mean, they're like just like phishing accounts to get me to sign up for their OnlyFans, where it's just like half naked. Like, here, you can take a picture. She's not naked, but she does like,
Yeah.
yeah, little sexy
Speaking
dance.
of naked, I see Francesca behind me in her bathrobe.
Oh yeah, you're just as bad as me. This is being recorded.
You're on the podcast.
Like,
Maybe you want to. Here, I'll angle it away from. You want to go in there? Are you? All right, I'll angle it towards over here. All right, then I'll admit our guest. All right.
no, there's a mirror right there.
That's the angle I do when I see my patients.
All right. I don't remember.
You should be good there. I should have full. Is that Sean? Hi, Sean.
Hi, Frankie.
Is Oscar there too?
No, Oscar couldn't make it tonight. BrettSinger.com. Wow, you got your plugs out of the way without
Oh,
having to
he's
say.
really good. Wow, how professional.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to our podcast.
How are you?
Good.
You look angry.
I'm not angry. Do I look angry? I get that a lot. I have resting annoyed face.
Yeah, because your eyebrows are so high. You're like this.
Let me see. Can I get them down? Can I get them down? Is that better?
Yes, and now I feel less
There's just
judged.
there's a lot of space to fill up there, you know? I got to fill it up with something.
Exactly. I want to draw a few like pig tits, you know.
Yeah.
There's 8 of them.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Brett, you know what? We did something this week that we've never really done before, and I actually pre-promoted the podcast,
Wow.
and I got a ton of questions from people on Instagram for you.
Okay.
Some of
Great.
them completely rude, but some of them very valid.
I'll take I'll take the rude ones. It's okay.
Yeah. So I talked to you a little bit at Westside Comedy Club. You were saying that you used to write professionally, right?
I did, yes.
You still write professionally, but you just not. It's not your full
I mean, I write. I mean, I mostly write comedy now,
Mm.
but I did used to get paid as a writer. Before that, I was a publicist. I was a theater
Yeah.
publicist, so I did off Broadway and off Broadway theater.
Yeah.
Basically, people would give me money, and I would tell them the New York Times didn't care about them. That was, and then that. What happened is my wife got a promotion, and she said, you don't need to make quite as much money anymore. So if you want to do something that you would enjoy more, that's okay. And so I said, twist my arm. I stopped doing publicity, and I started freelance writing. I started out with a place called Babbel, which subsequently got bought by Disney, and they're not around anymore, but they were a parenting blog. And it was a great gig. I got to do whatever I wanted. I did a podcast for them back just when podcasts were not really that much of a thing. I was able to write about pretty much whatever I wanted. It needed to have a parenting spin, but I would do 3 to 5 blog posts per day. And you got paid by traffic. So there were a lot of sort of fledgling social media outlets out there. Like there was something called Curtsy that I did very well with. You would submit your article. It was like basically versions of Reddit.
Okay.
And there were ones that were specifically for parenting, or for women. When in the blog space, women meant parenting.
I almost got hired as a podcast producer for like a dad's podcast called Fatherly. They have like a magazine.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard of them.
Yeah, but then I asked someone's opinion, like, how much should I ask? And they were like, ask for $400 an hour. I'm like, really? All right.
Hi.
That's very
It's like lawyer money.
that's like a crazy amount of money.
Yeah, they did not respond after that.
Yeah, that seems a little much. I don't know.
Yeah. Fucking
$400
asshole.
an hour is a little rich for most.
Maybe he accidentally added a zero. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe he was just fucking spiting me because he was a podcast producer.
That could be it.
Driving
That
you
could
out, but
definitely be
driving your numbers up too high.
An asshole. Anyway, so you're writing for Curtsy via Disney, via
Well, no, Babbel. I'm writing for Babbel. And then that led me to AOL back when AOL was a thing. The AOL, the main thing that I wrote for was a blog called Parent Dish, which was a lot of parenting stuff. But I also wrote for, was it Paw Nation, I think it was called. I got to interview Howard Stern's wife, Beth Stern. That was really fun. I got to interview the Wilson sisters from Heart.
Oh, okay.
That was really cool. Yeah, that was super fun. They were awesome. That was like sort of a career highlight. They were really, really fun. Rick Springfield, that was interesting. He was a good interview. Surprisingly good taste in music.
Who's Rick Springfield?
Jesse's Girl.
Oh, okay. I like that.
80s rock star.
80s heartthrob rock star.
Exactly. Also a soap opera star.
Yeah. Underrated musician.
All right.
Wasn't
So
bad.
okay. And then how did that transfer to being a stay-at-home dad?
I was being a stay-at-home dad while that was going on. Because
Oh,
what that enabled me to do is it gave me a lot of flexibility. I could work kind of whenever. I didn't
Right.
have, like, when I was doing PR, I had to be out at night a lot because I had to go to shows, and I always felt really guilty about that, leaving the kids at home. I mean, they would be with a babysitter, they would be with my mother, something like that. But I felt bad about it. I really wanted to be there.
Every time my parents went out, they just left me alone.
How old?
So from birth, basically.
is that why you're so emotionally distant?
Pretty much, yeah. Never breath bed. Just left to my own devices.
Maybe I should have done that. My life would have been very different.
Maybe.
But now you're out at night anyway for comedy, but they are older, right?
But they're old. Yeah, they're older. They're teenagers, so it's not really the same thing. It's one thing when they're little, you want to be there. I wanted to be there.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. I want to hit you with a fan question. Okay.
Okay.
Brody Hill, who was on a podcast actually. He's a chef out of England.
English chef.
Yeah, he said, "Do you feel that the moms you interacted with didn't take you seriously?"
It was a little weird because you can't go to mom's night out when you're a dad unless you're creepy. You know, there's no way to do that. I mean, the moms that I was closer with sort of understood and were like, this is a thing for moms, you're not invited. And I was fine with that, but it made some people uncomfortable. Like I would be one of, maybe 2 dads at pickup. I mean, this has changed over the years, but there were very, very few dads at pickup. It was really mostly me. And so it'd be me and all the moms.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there's a certain element of why are you doing this? What happened?
Right.
Like that's sort of an unspoken question. Like something must have happened for you to be doing this. This can't be a choice.
Yeah, like a Mr. Mom situation.
Yeah, did you lose your job? Did you? And it was like, no, my wife and I talked and her job paid a lot better. And it made more sense. Somebody had to look, we could have probably gotten more childcare, but we didn't really want to do that. We wanted somebody to be there. And somebody's got to be available for all the school projects, all the school plays, that was me, and I had no problem with that. I have hard drives full of pictures and all kinds of stuff.
This is a question from me. Who's one of the hosts of this podcast. You might know him. And he wonders, I wonder, what do your kids think? Like, are they very happy that you got to spend all this time? Do they appreciate it yet? Or you think they're going to appreciate it more when they're older?
I think they appreciated it. I mean, it was, I don't want to use the phrase fun dad because it has sort of weird connotations, but, because I was still, I still cared about discipline and all of those things. But they're into superheroes. I'm into superheroes. I really love superhero animation. And so that's what we watched, and we watched it together. And I had no problem with that. It was not really a matter of me parking them in front of the TV while I went and did things, although obviously I've done that in my time. But, there was this, I would go buy them comic books. I would make 3 stacks of comic. For a while, I bought comics every single week. I would make my stack. I would make the one kid stack, the other kid stack. I would give it to them. And I have to think that was more fun, than having a dad who's just never around.
Oh yeah.
Or who isn't into what you're into.
My dream life, just sitting around reading comic books, watching cartoons.
It wasn't bad. I mean, the
Xbox with them.
We played. We didn't have an Xbox. We had a Wii and we had a PlayStation. But yeah, we played. Yeah. We played video games together. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, eventually they surpassed me. I'm not very good at video games, so they got a little I can't Super Smash Bros. Gives me a headache. Like there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
So I just couldn't play it. So they played that without me. Lego Batman was a little frustrating. That was another problem.
Never played that.
It was just hard. I don't know. The Lego Star Wars games were better. Those were more fun.
Okay. Yeah,
but we had a lot of fun together. We did a lot of stuff. We definitely I like to play using the things that, and I obviously also left them alone. They did their own thing. I allowed them to have it wasn't like I had to be there all the time. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of fun, dad and kid time.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that sounds great. I wish my dad was into comic books and would hang out with me. And
you just wish your dad loved you.
He loved
wow.
me. My dad always loved me, but I wish he was better at showing it and trying to speak my my language and understand what I was into as a kid, more, and be a better teacher, a more patient teacher. Yeah. But
okay.
Anyway, another question from a fan. Bummer Central asked, how do you have secret spending money as a stay-at-home pop?
Oh, there's not really any secrets. I mean, I no longer earn anything resembling you know, I don't have an income that's worth speaking of, you know, like I file taxes because, you know, you have to file taxes, but I don't really earn anything home about.
None of that
Um,
sweet stand-up money coming from.
Oh, it's so much. It's such a, you know, it's just rolling in. My couch cushions are stuffed with hundreds. I don't know what to do with it all. Like I'm just handing it out to homeless people. I'm just throwing them around, you know. There's so much money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But, you know, I mean, I suppose that, you know, there was a time when I had more money. I don't really feel like I need to. Like I don't go out and spend a lot because I mean, one, I do feel a little guilty because I'm not really earning anything. But also, you know, I mean, I have what I need. I have my computer, you know, crapped out. I got a new one. You know, we're lucky enough that we can do that. I don't really feel like I can go. The one thing that used to be my big vice was comic books, and I now have too many of them, so I pulled back. You know, but if I want to buy something within reason, I will just do it.
Yeah. Does it put, okay, I got a bunch of very rude questions
That's fine.
but I'm trying to phrase them in a nice way. Or should
That's
I
okay.
Okay.
Whatever you want to say. It's you
Well,
know.
I just want to know, like, how does that affect the relationship dynamic where, you know, you can't be like, oh, I'm paying for dinner, or does the power dynamic ever make things less romantic?
I mean, you have to just kind of accept it. I mean, at least that's what I've chosen to do. You know, I'm not going to say I have no feelings about it, but at the same time, you know, this was a choice.
Yeah.
This was not something, it's not like I was forced into it. You know, I could have continued. I mean, the writing stuff all dried up. That was sort of unfortunate. What happened is everything that I used to do, you know, it's quote unquote content, and nobody pays for content anymore. You know, so I mean, I went into a store looking for a fantasy football magazine, and it was a supposed newsstand, and it was just a rack of empty magazine, you know, holders, because nobody really has magazines anymore. I mean, they're still around, but not that much.
No one reads.
I don't know if they don't read. They don't pay for the writing.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get paid. You know, I wasn't like magazine writers getting paid, you know, $4 or $5 a word. But, you know, I got paid decently to write for the internet. And that's just not a thing anymore. You know, I mean, it would do some people still do it? Yes, absolutely. But not that many. But, you know, am I insecure? Sure, absolutely. But I also kind of accept that this is what we chose. This is what we decided to do. And also that, I try to be grateful. I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have the pressure of earning a living, you know, which is something that is hard to sort of think about. But the reality is I personally don't have to do that. I'm more in a supporting role.
Yeah. Has it positively or negatively affected your relationship at all?
I don't know. That's a hard question. It's been such a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a really long time. I mean, I think we both are, the important thing was that we were both on the same page with it.
Yeah.
You know, that when people say, you know, I said, like, there's that unspoken thing of what, you know, you're a stay-at-home dad, what happened? And the answer is, well, we made a decision. It wasn't like, you know, something happened and now I'm bitter about it. Like, you know, we discussed it and we said, this is what's going to be best for the kids. And so that was what we did, you know, and I'm okay with that. I apparently told someone when I was 14, I said, when I grow up, I want to be a writer and I want to have a wife with a better job than me so I can stay home and take care of the kids. And that is actually what ended up happening. And I got that from World According to Garp. If anyone's, you know, playing along at home, if you remember World According to Garp, that was what he did. Now he was also fabulously wealthy thanks to his mother, and I am not. But, you know, it was something that was always on my mind, and I don't feel my identity is not tied to, I don't feel like I have to be the breadwinner in order to have value.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, I've often fantasized about it myself, you know, being a stay-at-home dad.
I've fantasized about it. Yeah. Don't have to go into work, you know, just kind of chill, hang out a little bit.
There's two camps. There's people like you who sort of say, you know, okay. I mean, I'm working on a joke about it where it's like, you know, some people say, you know, hey, that's interesting. And some people say, wow, what a pussy. you know, and it just, I don't know what it is that makes one person say the other, but I mean, you know, it's like for all that we've come a long way, it's still, you know, the idea of the man as the breadwinner is still mostly how things work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that toxic masculinity, right? A man has to be, you know, tough, brave, wears the pants, quote unquote. You know, women listen to what men have to say, all that yada yada. John Wayne
But-
bullshit.
But I also think some of it's hardwired. I mean, not all of it, obviously, but part of it. Like me and my girlfriend, usually we split the bill when we go out to dinner, and 95% of the time I throw down my credit card. And I like the way it feels, even though I know I'm not paying for the full amount. and,
Yeah.
and it just I think we both like it for some reason.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I still, you know, I'll throw down my credit card even though I'm not paying the bill.
Nice. Yeah. See?
Yeah, I think often now is like the most amount of women ever are in the workforce, because forever it was like, you know, women at first it was women didn't work at all. They just found a man and got married, had babies. And then it was they, you know, went to work to find a man to then retire and have babies. And now it's kind of like you go to work and then you just keep working.
Yeah.
I mean, Ruth Bader Ginsburg husband sacrificed his career, you know, to take care of the kids so she could have her career.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
You know, yeah. I mean, so it's not like it's never happened. I mean, there's lots of stay-at-home dad. I mean, I never really felt comfortable with the stay-at-home dad crowd either, just because I'm annoying. But you know, but it's not like they're not out there. It's definitely a thing. It's just not as many, you know, as you might think.
Did you watch Bored to Death?
No, I don't know that.
Oh, it's a great show with Jason Schwartzman and Zach Galifianakis and Ted Danson. And Zach Galifianakis, he plays like a stay-at-home kind of stepdad sometimes, and he's so funny in it.
Yeah, I'll check
It's-
that out.
Oh, it's so good. All right, I got a question from Gifted Soul Entertainment, my buddy Kelvin. He says, does he get any private time to jerk off?
Sure. It's been a little
When-
harder in quarantine. It's been a little harder in quarantine, but sure.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say, so now that your kids are like teenagers, and I guess before the pandemic, like, was there just like a lot of time during the day or like, what the fuck do I do when it's not like that constant need?
I tried what I tried to do is I tried not to watch TV because I felt like that was a real rabbit hole that you could, you know, you just end up sitting there watching television. And I really didn't want to do that.
Mhm.
So I wrote a novel is one of the things I did with my time. And there's a couple of years where I'm honestly not sure what I did all day. You know, I had a bout with depression, and there's definitely some chunks of my life that I can't honestly say I know what the hell I did all day. Like, how did I fill the hours? Because I wasn't like sitting around watching TV, because I wouldn't do that. I didn't allow myself to do that. So, you know, I always had something to do. Comedy really opened a lot of doors. Like, I'm now producing a couple of bar shows. You know, I've got a couple of things coming up at the clubs. Obviously, you're out at night. You know, any chance I get. Not that I'm trying not to be home, but I'm trying to do shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any opportunity, I go out and I'll do a show at night. And there's open mics. You know, there's always open mics during the day. And I mean, I'm considering pulling back a little because I'm not having that much time, not enough time to write.
Right.
Like, I need some new material. I'm trying to get up to a half hour, and you know, I would like to. I could probably piece it together, but I'd like it to be really good material. So I need to spend some time.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, here's a question that is not really related to the topic at all. By Grass-Fed Man. Bare knuckle boxing, yes or no?
Oh, that seems so painful. I mean, I'm not a real violent guy, and I'm not like, I don't like MMA. You know, I used to like boxing because I was a big Muhammad Ali fan when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And oh God, I mean, it seems like somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of
badly.
a lot of lacerations.
Yeah. I mean, that seems, I'm not really into people getting hurt. You
That's
know, and
fair.
it's not like I can't enjoy a good boxing match, and the funny thing is, I don't want people to get hurt. I love football. And, obvious. I mean, I don't know if you remember Dak Prescott's injury where his,
Oh, yeah.
his foot just kind of went in a different direction. It's like,
Popped out of his leg.
yeah. I mean, it was just like, oh my God, that's hard. I wasn't watching when it happened, and like Twitter just went insane. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh crap, that's what happened. That was bad. So I'm not averse to it, but I would say probably no to bare knuckle boxing. Certainly for me, I'm not doing any bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah. I'm actually a big MMA fan, and I don't really watch the bare knuckle. There's like a new trend in bare knuckle boxing, like where people who did MMA, they do it and make a bunch of money.
They wear gloves though in MMA, right?
Yeah, but
Not
then
big gloves, but little gloves.
Yeah, now they're just wearing like hand wraps in this bare knuckle boxing.
That's dumb.
Yeah, well, also break your hands.
You
easy.
break your-
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's not necessary. You can find a way to have a sporting fight without that.
Yeah. All right. Here's a weird question. I don't really understand it, but I'll burden you with the grammar here. Marek Rosani, who's a really good artist, he wrote, "Can house daddies also be plant and garden daddies?"
I feel like there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
And house daddies also be plant and garden. I'm not a big gardener.
Mm.
I'm not great with plants. Like I've killed many plants in my time. I'm a bit of a plant murderer. And so I've always wondered if we lived in the suburbs, because I enjoy the fresh vegetables. So I might force myself to be a gardener if we had access to it. I don't know. I'm not sure. That would definitely be a push for me.
My dad was always a big gardener, and when he used to like yell at me as a kid and be like kind of a mean dad, I used to run around chopping off his flowers' heads with my toy sword.
That's a funny image.
Yeah.
You should put that in a script or something. That's an interesting image.
Yeah, my
I
dad.
like that.
My dad loves gardening, but he's terrible at it. He just everything he plants dies.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be good at it.
Yeah.
I just, it doesn't seem like, it seems like something you need a lot of patience for, and I'm just not very patient.
Even worse, he'll plant stuff in other people's yards, and then they'll yell at him, and then he makes me dig them back up. It's a real topsy-turvy. I'll write a bit about it eventually.
All right, I got a couple more from the fans. This one also doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I guess since you're home a lot, I guess you got it from that. It says, Bradley Samuel 2 asked, how do you avoid eating too much takeout even when you feel like it?
Oh, that's how I got fat. I mean, when Seamless used to be only a corporate thing, and then it became an everybody thing, and I ate way too many dumplings and too much chow fun and whatever the hell else I was eating, and it was bad. I put on like 30 pounds. It's not good. I need to lose minimum 10. What am I at now? Yeah, I probably need to lose like 20 pounds. And a lot of that, it's from various things, but a lot of it is definitely from too much takeout. I was definitely takeout. Yep. The only way to avoid it is to be good about cooking, and to just be really careful with what you're eating, because otherwise that's a trap, especially in Manhattan. Forget it.
Right. You should come surfing with me.
Oh God, I don't have the balance for surfing. Surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm barely a functional swimmer. I don't think you want me surfing.
All right. I was just saying, it's a great workout.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
Too. But as fat boys, it's much harder.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's plenty of big surfers. They're playing big boned surfers.
All right.
Where do you surf?
Rockaway.
Nice.
And wherever I can. I went down to Cocoa Beach. I went down to Wilmington. Yeah, man, it's so fun. I'm jonesing for it. It's hard to because sometimes I want to do it, but I'm like, I should do comedy. This is what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah.
And I just won't go surfing, but it's so fun. Okay. I got one more good question. I got a lot of bad questions that I'm skipping. because I like you, Brett, and I don't
Thank
want to
you.
ruin our
Thank you.
relationship.
Oh, thank you.
Mika from Mika's Corner, she said, "What do you miss most and least before you became a stay-at-home dad?" Parentheses DY daddy.
This is a weird thing to miss, but I miss having an office. I really enjoyed having an office. Now, to be fair, I had a reason to have an office because I had a legitimate business that, I had an employee, and, I did things that I needed an office. Now, if I were to suddenly become a publicist again, which is unlikely, but you could do everything virtually now. Like I was a publicist in the days of fax machines, and mailings. Like we would do, 150 piece mailings, like with every show that I promoted. So you'd have to print out 150 letters and stuff them into envelopes. And it was a whole thing. But I kind of missed that. It was fun. It was nice to have an office and have some room away from the home.
And an easy place to jerk off.
An easy place to jerk off. Very easy place to jerk off. So easy. So simple. No, I never had my own office. I always shared it with people. So it was actually that was actually a terrible idea.
Way back then, you can get away with that though.
That's true. It was the days before Me Too. You could just whip it out.
Me Too. You could just whip it out at any time.
Yeah. No, it was no problem. No problem at all. I never did that.
Yeah.
What do I miss? That's a really good question. That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I kind of went into it very clear-eyed. I really, when it came time to do it, I was excited. I actually was really into it because I really enjoyed spending time with the kids, not in a weird way. Like I also enjoyed having my own thing. Like I missed the writing jobs. Those were fun.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got a line on maybe some other stuff. And I honestly don't know if I have time, but if I do have time and it works out, I would do that again because it was fun. But so I kind of missed that, but that's not really before. I don't know. I guess just the office and sort of a little bit of independence. I definitely had more independence back then.
Yeah, but now you have more free time.
Well, right now I do. Yeah. I mean, I could never have done this when the kids were younger. I sometimes kick myself that I didn't start comedy sooner because you look at people who've been doing it, 10, 12, 15 years and how much further along they are. And I had a comic tell me, you don't really get good until year 8 or some crazy number. And I was like, I'm going to be 60. Like, how old am I going to be before I get good?
Right.
They're like, you've only been doing comedy 3 years. You're a toddler, that kind of thing. But
well, you're a very precocious toddler.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But but at the same time, there's no way. I mean, I couldn't have done it. I mean, like you want to hit open mics, when there's a show, you gotta do it. I went to a ball game with my family yesterday, but I had 2 shows, so I had to leave early. And that's what you have to do. You can't turn down a show.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Which kid's your favorite?
I like them both for different reasons.
You like them both, but we're saying like if you had to choose.
They'll
never hear this.
I refuse. You never know what they'll hear. No, I can genuinely say that I don't have a favorite. I am probably closer with my oldest because we were alone together longer.
Gotcha.
So I think that, and we share more of the same interests. My youngest is more, although my youngest and I both are into musical theater. So, I mean, that's a thing, but my youngest doesn't like any of the Marvel movies, they're not totally
so how hard do you have to hit them?
Just not into football.
Yeah.
Whereas my oldest will watch football with me, which is always fun. I love that.
I have one last question. Do you like how I fixed my lighting at the very end of the podcast?
I do. I think that's good. I think you should do that every time. You should wait until 30 minutes in before you fix the lighting.
Yeah, because it's symbolic that you elucidated me. You've enlightened me.
It's excellent. I love it.
Yeah. All right, Brett. Well, I want to know obviously at the Brett Singer, is that on Instagram and where else?
At the Brett Singer is Instagram and TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook.
And
And you can find me at brettsinger.com. That's got all the social links and it's got video clips. It's got fun stuff like my appearance on Fox News. So that's fun for
Cool.
people to watch. I got yelled at by Megyn Kelly. That was really fun.
What are your shows?
I have a show in Astoria called Cue Ball Comedy. It is with a fellow bald person and Uncle Alacar. And that is at McLaughlin's. That's the fourth Monday of every month.
Okay.
And then I have a show in Sunnyside, Queens at Jack's Fire Department with Ruben Wolf. That's every other Wednesday. And then in September, I'm going to start a show at West Side Comedy Club.
Very cool. All right, everyone. So make sure to go check those shows out. Brett always books awesome lineups and he's very funny. And
His podcast, Andrew and I have both done it.
Yes, both comics who love comic books. Great podcast. Viewership is slowly creeping up, which is excellent. I got to edit an episode right now. And yeah, you guys are both great guests. I'll have you back on.
Definitely.
thank you, Brett. Thank you so much for coming on Knowledge Daddies.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right, I'll see you around.
All right. See you soon. Bye.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still rolling. We're lazy, so we don't edit anything.
Yeah, we also run this running joke now where like I just won't edit some of the podcasts and it'll be some dead air. And our only like 2 listeners have called us out on it. So
Yeah, we like it. I like capturing the spirit of the early days of podcasting where you thought no one was going to be listening.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. I like that.
Yeah. All right, Brad, I'm going to kick you out so me and Sean can end the podcast.
Okay. Awesome.
we have to do our
Thanks a lot. See you soon.
bye.
See you, man.
Bye.
I don't know how to kick him out. All right,
There
he
you
left. Hey, Sean.
I figured like talk some shit for a second, and I was like, "You asshole!" He was a really nice. He was a really good guest.
I wasn't going to talk some shit.
I know you just look like you were.
I know. I felt guilty, but I had no reason to feel guilty. Oh,
People just like to talk,
what?
so people just like to keep talking afterwards.
I know you want to say goodbye and to thank them, and but we got shit to do, man. We don't have time for all.
We have to talk. Is Oscar gonna be in here? Or did he just send us text?
I don't know. He didn't send me a text.
All right.
But-
What do you want to do about the editor?
Well, I want to end the podcast first.
Oh, let's end the podcast. We'll talk shop.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Knowledge Daddies. Thank you so much for writing with questions. I think we're going to do that every week. So please do that again on Instagram. I'm going to, if you're not
follow Andrew at Andrew Steiner. Follow me at Big Bear 63. Follow us at Knowledge Daddies.
on TikTok and Instagram, we're at Knowledge Daddies. And yeah, thanks so much. Tell your friends that this show is the only show that's as bad as podcasting used to be, but is still fun.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We need to do a couple in person before the world shuts down again.
Have what?
I said we need to do a couple in person before the world shuts down again.
Anytime, man. I love doing in-person podcasts.
I think when I move to Hoboken, we'll all meet there.
All right. Well,
Might
it's not
be that-
exactly. I'll definitely do it, but I don't think that's closer for Oscar.
No, but it makes my life easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Shit.